Darrin Shillair. I'm currently a member of the board of directors for LYTE Collective. I think that the work that LYTE Collective is doing is important right now, is given the bifurcation of our society into what increasingly is a matter of the haves versus the have-nots. It's become very apparent that there's a certain criteria or a certain portion of our population that lacks the type of services and the type of environment that the LYTE Collective and the LYTE Lounge in particular will be providing. Namely, safe space and a sense of community and a group of people who care about them and can provide them with support throughout their daily lives. I choose to do this work because as I get more senior in my career and older in life, I start to become almost painfully aware of all the advantages that I've had to date that have allowed me to achieve what I have in life. And I think it's important to ensure that all youth and all members of society have the same opportunities and the same access to a safe space and a community that they can count on. I think what's unique about the LYTE Collective is that it's founded in empirical research. So our executive director had completed a postdoctorate dissertation that looked at the success rates and the success factors in programs that served youth experiencing homelessness and had identified specific criteria that were instrumental in their further success and ongoing sustainability. The LYTE Collective is founded in those principles, which include long-lasting relationships, youth employment, access to education, and a safe space where they can have a consistent environment to ultimately call home. I think between employment and education are really the two most important factors for young people to ultimately escape intergenerational poverty. I think employment specifically, because it provides ultimately an income, but youth employment in terms of the LYTE Collective and employing youth within the LYTE Collective space, I think is very important in terms of providing youth that on-the-job training, not in terms of just lip service or academic type training, but actually employing youth and teaching them the soft skills and the soft factors of job training that may be lacking in other employment programs. Yeah, I was drawn to be a part of LYTE Collective kind of through a painful realization of all of the advantages that I've had as in my childhood and in my life to date, which ultimately were huge factors in allowing me to achieve what I have to date. So I was very drawn to LYTE Collective for the ability to ensure that all youth have those same opportunities. I think specifically with our organization or with the LYTE Collective, is the board of directors and our executive director and all of our staff's significant experience in providing these type of services to youth and knowing exactly what works and what doesn't, including empirical research and a postdoctorate dissertation on exactly that. I hope that LYTE Collective in 10 years, we could look back and say that LYTE Collective has really become a pillar of its community, that we have become a go-to place for youth in the community and all other members of the community to really become a central location for them to gather and support one another. I think what blocks people from giving back to programs like this can be a bit of an intimidation factor of not knowing what they're getting themselves into in terms of, am I going to be able to provide the right advice? Am I going to be able to provide the right tutoring or provide the right relationship for that? And I think what LYTE Lounge does well in addressing that need is providing a community space for all to engage in. So LYTE Collective and the LYTE Lounge will have programming around education, it'll have programming around yoga, around open mic, around music, around a number of different activities that we feel should allow people to engage in a specific sector that they're comfortable with. I think what's at stake is, if we do nothing, is really the future of our communities. Under the current direction, if there's nothing done, we will continue to have we'll have a bifurcated society where we'll have a certain set of individuals that are kind of within the golden walls and behind the moat, and the rest of society which is ultimately left out. And regardless of which side of the wall you're on, I don't think that that's a society that anybody wants to be a part of. I think LYTE Collective partners well with a number of different programs across the city due to the relationships that our staff and our board of directors have built over many years working in the field. So I think that LYTE Lounge fits well into that space, especially since our focus will initially be on recreational services, educational services, and other areas that youth programs may have been forced to cut in the past because they were focused more on basic needs. And our research has shown that those recreational services, educational services, services that other programs may treat as ancillary are ultimately critical to the success of young people, and where LYTE Collective can fill that gap, I think is extremely important. The LYTE Collective. Live your truth everywhere.